Ready to go?
At Metro Transit, we are. With more routes to more places, easy ways to pay, and more convenient options, we're ready to go further. Go easier. Go faster. Go, go, go.
And go.
We're ready to go. Are you?
It's Not Your Fault is a podcast for parents, caregivers, and young people navigating the world and its challenges. Here's your host, Brandon Jones.
Greetings and welcome to another installment of It Is Not Your Fault, a teen mental health podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Jones, and on today's episode, we are going to continue our conversation around the circle of courage and how the circle of courage is a positive framework to help young people who may find themselves at risk or in trouble. If you are a watcher of the podcast, you would know I did an overview of the Circle of Courage framework a few episodes ago, and we're going to continue that conversation over the next few episodes, and we're going to cover each one of the areas of the framework, starting with today. And the area we're starting with is belonging, and why that is important to this, to not just the mental and emotional well-being of young people, but also to furthering their identity and development as they move forward. If you are not familiar with what the Circle of Courage is or where it comes from, it's from the book Reclaiming Youth at Risk, Our Hope for the Future. And it was written by Archbishop, not Archbishop Desmond Tutu. It was written by two other people. It's a whole other book. Larry K. Berntiro and Martin Brokenleg. Actually, three authors. Sorry, Stephen Van Bockernen as well. These are the three people to put this off, and it's based off Native American philosophy and developmental psychology and how to help young people be resilient. And the framework has four areas. Again, belonging, which we're going to cover today, mastery, independence, and generosity. And each one of those areas, I think we can look at various different elements of young people today and see how it's impacting them when they don't have those things present and the behaviors that we see them displaying today. It's very evident that these are quality pieces of values, understanding, and things that contribute to young people's worldview. And unfortunately, they're missing for so many people. How do we make sure that they have them? And what do we do as adults in young people's lives to support them as best as possible? So let's get into belonging. Belonging, the heartbeat of adolescent well-being. In the groundbreaking book, Reclaiming Youth at Risk, the authors introduce the Circle of Courage, a model built on four universal human needs: belonging, mastery, independence, and generosity. Of these, belonging stands out as the foundation, the heartbeat of adolescent mental health. What is belonging? Belonging is the innate human need to connect with others, to feel loved, accepted, and valued within a group. For adolescents who are in the throes of identity formed and the social development, belonging is not optional. It is vital. When young people are experiencing meaningful relationships with family, peers, and supportive adults, they begin to see themselves as worthy and capable members of a community. The Circle of Courage draws upon indigenous philosophies and contemporary resilience science to affirm the emotional growth is stunted when children feel isolated, but it flourishes when they are securely bonded to each other. So, why does belonging matter to adolescents? Well, think about your own childhood. Think about how turbulent your adolescence was, back and forth, up and down, stuff happening, right? So, adolescence is turbulent developmental stage marked by physical, emotional, and social change. During this time, youth are naturally drawn to relationships beyond their families, searching for peer groups, mentors, and communities that uh, reflect their emerging identities. Without a strong sense of belonging, teens are at risk for several things. And again, think about the young people that you deal with, whether they're your children, grandchildren, kids that you just see in the neighborhood, nieces and nephews. Maybe you work in a field or in space where children are around. These are things that we're seeing a lot of kids deal with, especially as we have this mental health crisis currently with young people. What do we see when they struggle with this? When they don't have a strong sense of belonging, we see low self esteem, social withdrawal, depression and anxiety symptoms, aggression or disruptive behavior, and being more susceptible to gangs and risky peer groups. When I look at some of the news around the country involving young people, especially young urban people, we are seeing these takeovers where young people are doing kind of like flash mob style things in areas of town where they're shutting towns down. We're seeing a lot of violence in schools, a lot of fights. We're seeing a lot of bullying online. We're seeing a lot of disruptive behavior. There's something going on in our society when it comes to our young people. Now, it's not all our young people, but it's a significant amount where we should be paying attention and assisting young people to the best of our ability. Conversely, when adolescents experience belonging, research shows that they are more likely to do a few things. What are those things? Perform better in school, develop resiliency, engage in pro social behaviors. That's like positive things, connecting with other people. And then they also experience greater emotional regulation and self worth. These are elements that we want all young people to experience. But unfortunately, due to various different circumstances, we don't see this all the time. So we have to model behaviors, create opportunities and space for young people to feel that level of support and belonging. Sometimes it might be a head nod, a high five, a secret handshake, just some acknowledgement to let folks know that they are seen. Then take it a step further, it might be a space, a journal, an opportunity, or a question that you may ask to let them know that they're heard. And then take it a step further, you got to build that authentic rapport to let them know that they are connected, that they do belong. It's not going to happen as easily as I just laid it out all the time, but being consistent and showing up for young people will bring an opportunity for that belonging to start developing. I meet so many kids. I have met so many kids, whether it's through therapy programs I designed or just mentoring, things that I've done in the community, that they didn't feel like they belonged anywhere. They were just floating. They felt abandoned. They had attachment issues. And I think that's one of the most scary places to be when you're addressing adolescence. You want them to be connected to something positive, if possible. But when they are connected to things that aren't positive or they're isolating, they are more susceptible to negativity. And we want to avoid that as best as possible. So, as I always like to do, give some tips before we close out. How can parents and caregivers foster belonging? So, here are the tips, and I'm going to share with you all 6 tips. We're going to do 6 tips today. So, how can caregivers and parents foster belonging? Creating a sense of belonging isn't about being a helicopter parent or a tiger mom. No, it's not about those things. Or trying to force closeness. It's not about that either. It's about authentic connection, culturally affirming, and unconditional regard. I was going to say love, but no, I don't think we need to do that right now. Unconditional regard. Here are several ways that caregivers and parents can help adolescents feel like they truly belong. First thing, show up consistently. Kind of mentioned this earlier already, but that consistency is very important. Being emotionally and physically present, adolescents may act like they don't need you, but your consistency sends a message that you matter to me and I'm not going anywhere. That's a huge signal to a young person that you matter to me and I'm not going anywhere. Number two, invite conversations about feelings, identity, and life struggles without judgment. Avoid the urge to fix or minimize the things that young people say to you. Take it for the gospel. Whatever they're saying to you, believe it. Sometimes the most healing thing you can say is, I'm here and I hear you. I'm here and I hear you. Celebrate their identity. This is a tough one, especially if you don't agree with how they're identifying. You still need to celebrate it. Things do change, and you can't dictate everything, but sometimes you have to embrace who people are or who they're attempting to be. So celebrate their identity. Affirm who they are becoming, especially in racial, cultural, gender, and not neurodivergent identities. Let them know that they don't have to change who they are or to earn your love or acceptance. Being who you are is enough. I've met a lot of young people, and I've dealt with a lot of parents who can't accept their kids' identities for various different reasons. And it really drives a disengagement between the two, and it's sad when a kid is yearning for their parent, but their parent won't connect with them because they don't agree with one of their identities. Number 4, encourage community involvement. Help them find spaces where they can build healthy relationships with extended family members, cultural groups, clubs, sports, faith-based organizations. All different types of belongings are important. So belonging multiplies when it's supported across environments. Try to get them out there. Don't let them just be one track, one activity, one place. Try to get them involved and engage as many pieces and spaces as possible. This will help. The 5th thing, model vulnerability and connection. So let your teens see you seek support, sharing your emotions, and being part of your own community. Show them that belonging is a lifelong human need and is not a sign of weakness. You got to model healthy behavior around this as much as possible. And then number 6, repair disconnection. Conflict is going to happen. Issues are going to show up. People are not going to like you all the time. Your kids are not going to like you all the time. So what matters most is repair. Apologize when needed. Reaffirm the relationship. Demonstrate love. Demonstrating that love does not disappear with mistakes. That is a huge one. I'm just going to drop that bomb, drop that mic right there. Demonstrate that love does not disappear with mistakes. Yeah, we can do it. So my final thoughts is, in a world where many adolescents feel like outsiders, whether it's due to trauma, identity struggles, or social pressures, the concept of belonging offers a lifeline. As reclaiming youth at risk reminds us young people thrive when they are seen, valued, and connected. When we create homes, schools, and communities that center belonging, we are just preventing harm and cultivating hope. I hope that today's episode was meaningful to you. If it was, I want to invite you to connect with us one of 3 ways. The first is at our Facebook group. It Is Not Your Fault Podcast. Just go ahead and put that into the search bar of Facebook and you will see us pop up. It Is Not Your Fault Podcast. You'll get quality information like what I shared here, other episodes from the podcast, and other great resources that may help you. Right there on Facebook, It Is Not Your Fault Podcast. Second place you can connect with me is on my personal website. That is jegna.org, www.jegna.org, jegna.org, where you can send me questions and learn a little bit more about what I do. And if you like me, there's a good chance that you might like the other podcasters we have on our network, because we have a plethora of amazing podcasters giving great, amazing information. And you're probably wondering, well, what is that podcast network? That podcast network is ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. That's ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. Go ahead and check us out. Subscribe. Make sure you are tuning into as many different podcasts as possible. And definitely share it with somebody you care about. So that's going to do it for me today, folks. I hope you are all well. We will see you again. Until then, be safe, be constructive, be well, and take care. Peace.
To check out previous episodes of It's Not Your Fault, or to learn more about Brandon Jones, log on to ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African-American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
When I was introduced to Bremer, I really appreciated it. It was more of a relationship. The support that we have in project-based lending, it's emboldening us to go after larger projects. That is a game changer for a small business. The resources and the support from Bremer Bank is exciting that I could stay with them forever. Sometimes when you're working with bankers, they relish the fact of saying no. With Bremer, it's like they're finding a way to say yes.
To keep my home running smooth, I count on Xfinity Internet. With 99.9% reliability, we're all online at once. No slowdowns. The Xfinity app lets me manage our Wi-Fi and keep things secure. Xfinity makes it easy.